Hi guys, namaste and hope all of you are doing well. This video is very important. It's about what you can do as an astrologer or as an aspiring astrologer. What can you do or what you should do when someone who's at the very lowest level in their life, okay, emotionally, mentally, they're just, burned out. They come to you and they say, look, I need something tangible, I need to change this, I need to turn this around. What can I do? All right. So I'm going to tell you an experience that I had with a client who's my friend. I mean, all my clients are my friends. And what I did uh, as the remedies to change uh, his entire life, in fact, and everything changed since then, right? So let me tell you what happened. So this guy came, right? He's an actor, an Indian actor. Now, of course, this is a public video. Anonymity is everything, right? And client astrology confidentiality and all that thing. So I cannot reveal who this person is. It's a good looking chap. He earns pretty well. He does these tele dramas, what do you call it, series, serials and stuff. But he also done a couple of Bollywood movies. I mean, not the protagonist, but second to the lead roles. But still, big deal, right? Bollywood. So he sent me a mail. Immediately, I knew who this person was, right? I mean, he's known. And as I was, we have the prerequisites to be met. What are the things you require? What are the things that he needs? What are the things that I would require? And then we'll go through certain conversation, and then the prediction starts. So he came to me at the very lowest level in his life. He just couldn't take it anymore. He has even decided to do the unthinkable. All right, he's decided to just leave everything and just you know go to God. No, when you have, I mean, this is to aspiring astrologers out there. When you get this kind of cases, people who come to you and tell them that, look, I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. I can't be talking this to anybody. Nobody seems to understand my problems, my predicaments, my turmoil. No one actually understands, and I've decided to just take it off and just do the unthinkable. All right, and and I'm telling you as the last person before I commit it. This kind of cases, for one thing, is it's like it's like you need to stop and think what needs to be done, because this is not a normal situation. It is not about when will I get the job, or would my visa be extended, or would I marry this person. These are not mundane questions. These are a matter of life. It is not an obligation, friends. It is never an obligation. This is the true meaning of dharma as an astrologer. An astrologer's dharma is to help people, and especially if this kind of cases, I mean, it is really like he may do it, and you are the last person in between death and changing everything. So you can imagine the stress that we astrologers will go through. But when if you get these kind of cases, right, what should you do? Right, number one is listen to these people and put aside all your work, put aside all your problems. Doesn't matter. Your problem is not as great as that person. Right? So when he came to me, I had a few requests. I put it all aside. I had my own problems as well. Put everything aside, and I had everything to him. 150% to him. I want to make a difference. I want to change. I want to make him think that living is a boon. Suicide is the last thing. It's not even the last thing that we should be thinking about, right? Life must be cherished and experienced to the fullest. But anyways, so first thing is to talk to this person, to him, and I got all the information. What was his problem? Okay, what was his problems? And how bad the problem is right now. Is it reversible, fixable? Depending, right? Now that's the first thing to do. Get all the information. Be calm. You need to be calm first of all, because the other person will be in a very agitative state, right? And it would not be conducive for you to be in such a if you are hurrying for things. So you need to be very, very patient dealing with this kind of cases. Number one. Okay. Second thing is remedies. That's it. Okay. The remedies is what I'm going to tell you. What remedies should you do? Should you provide? Should you give when people come with such a situation, such a serious critical situation? What would you need to do as an astrologer to provide the right remedies? Now, talking about remedies. Okay, now remedies, uh, I'm sure you've heard about donate jaggery to the temple, or feed a poor Brahmin, or donate a cow, or do this, do that. Okay, those are fine, but then you must have some meanings behind it. All right, don't just arbitrarily say something because it's written in the scriptures, like bunch tie a bunch of neem leaves in front of house. Of course there are many health benefits to it. If you should know why you're saying it, right? Other than that, it is worthless. Don't waste your time giving um, remedies which has no substantiation. All right. Which is why I urge you, right, as an aspiring astrologer, I want you to extrapolate, right? You extend a concluded uh, reference, okay? Extend it to an unknown factor, which is what extrapolation means, right? You extend it to an unknown factor, and from there engage in an intellectual forum, and to see if that makes sense. Don't just accept dogmatically, those axioms that we have. Just don't accept it like that. Extrapolate it. Put some effort. This is where research comes, intellectual. Just don't follow things as it is. Sometimes the scriptures may be wrong, because the scriptures, as you know, they are from a source which is difficult for us to comprehend, right? It's from the Vedas. It's very complex. The commentaries and the contemporary message that has been brought forward may change from time to time. So it is our, I would say, prerogative, right, as an astrologer, to perform research, to make sure that that we are confident, 100% confident, that this remedy will solve a problem. Don't just look at some lal kitab or something like that and just give any kind of a remedy. Make sure it works, right? Which is why, friends, I do not prescribe gemstones. It just didn't work for me. Didn't work at all. I mean, I've tried many. I've tried the best of the best with the proper measurements, with the proper puja. Everything didn't work. Okay, so as such, I'm not doing it. All right. So the point here is remedies are very complex. It's very specific. It's distinguishable. It's very unique to the specific querent, right? So you cannot. There's no one pill for all sicknesses. There's no such thing. You need to be very specific about remedies. Now, the remedy is the most difficult part in giving consultation. But then, as you can see in my consultation service that I provide, the remedy is the most reasonable. I've given it USD $9, and anybody in the world can afford USD $9. Why? Because that's what I want. I want to help people as much as possible. It's not about knowing why you have the problem, it's about fixing it. That is why remedy I've given at a very, very reasonable price, so that everybody can be able to fix their problems. Okay, again, remember, don't simply accept dogmatic axioms and all that. You need to extrapolate it and then do your own research as why these remedies are required. Okay, so I gave him five things which changed his life. And this happened 2 years back, okay, 2017. Now he's doing great. He's doing great, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy that it's not a matter of pride, but it's a sense of dharma. You have completed, you have done as an astrologer, and then that sense of fulfillment is priceless, I tell you. So he's doing great. We are friends now, and yeah. Okay. Anyway, five things, right? For this kind of serious cases. The first is to understand what is the Marana, what are his Marana Karakasthanas. Now, what's a Marana Karakasthana? Now, Marana Karakasthana is a scheme where certain graha goes to certain houses, certain rasis. Uh, they will diminish their energies. Every house, every bhava, every rasi, every graha, every nakshatra, even every dasa has its own unique energy. All right, it's based on the guna tattvas and the trigunas. Now, if you have different elemental properties or energies coming together, it may not give you the synergy. In fact, it will contradict, and it will make a planet go very, very weak, right? So that's what Marana Karakastana is. If a certain graha goes to a certain house, it will be unhappy. All right? As such, it will not provide or yield any auspicious potency to the person, right? To the querent. Um, so, for example, let's talk about Venus. Venus is all about pleasure, love, connecting with another soul, experiencing desires, karma, and all that. Now, if Venus goes to the sixth is the house of responsibility, day-to-day things like your work, employment, paying your bills, debts, and all. It's a responsibility. It's a day-to-day thing. It's got nothing to do with buying that fancy car, eating that wonderful decadent food and all that. So if Venus goes to the sixth, it falls in the scheme of Marana Karakasthana. Just like that, all the other grahas except for Ketu. Ketu is moksha karagan. He is excluded from this. The others would need to be assessed, like the Saturn in the first, and all these have reasons behind it. The Sun is the 12th. The Sun is all almighty. It's all great. It's all powerful for all beginning. The 12th is house of loss. You can imagine such graha going to the 12th house. Saturn in the first. The first is all about health, longevity. It's all about assessing the entire chart. It's all about starting a very very auspicious beginning. Very auspicious beginning. And you have a graha like Saturn. Saturn is all about giving you problem, giving you disease, giving you stress and all this, so that you understand truth and dharma, right? So it's like that. Mars in the 7, Mercury in the 4th and 7, Rahu in the 9. That makes sense, isn't it? The 9 is the house of God and worldly selflessness and all that. Rahu is selfish. It's very, very devious, cheat, and all that. It's against its own tattva, its own guna. So you understand now, right? So each has their own. Say, yeah, that's right. Jupiter the third. That's another Marana Karakasthana. Jupiter is all about, all about God, all about worldly affairs and all that. The third is the house of self. It's nothing to do with the world. It's all about how do you stand on your own feet. How do you move? How do you see the world from your own perspective? Tenacity and all that is not what Jupiter is, right? Like that, okay? So first is to assess Marana Karakasthana, all right? Then see what are the grahas which is causing problems. Second thing is the debilitated ones. This is very easy, right? Check for the debilitated ones. Third is the Astangata. Now this is important. Astangata is basically when the sun goes to a proximity to a graha, and which literally burns it down, and that graha would diminish its power to yield, and the potency will be too low. So Astangata, or combustion, must be looked at also. All right, so that's the third one. The fourth is your Kuladevam. Now Kula Devata or Kula Devam is a god or goddess whom the family has been worshipping for generations. It's inherited from from your ancestors and so on. Some god, of course this is kind of different for the Western people may do. It's not easy to understand this concept. It's similar to a guardian angel, okay, but this is very specific. It's like that particular group of people, or a particular clan, or maybe a certain community or culture would worship certain gods, certain goddess or gods, and that will be a family inheritance thing, and it goes on for generations and so on. So that's called a Kula Devata, Kula Devam Devam. And the fifth one is your Ishta Devata. Okay, that is very is something that you can find in your charts. Ishta Devata is the god that is responsible to to emancipate your soul to attain moksha, sanctity of life. It is the deity that is responsible for your jivatma, okay, your individual soul, your jivatma, and that can be easily. Or I think I did a video on that as well, if I'm not mistaken. This is in my channel. Now, Ishtadevatas are responsible to emancipate your soul to to the supreme being, to the Paramatma. It rules your Jivatma house. Right? It's quite easy actually to find this. If you look at your charts, you look at where your Atma Karaka is. Okay, your Chara Atma Karaka. Now, from Chara Atma Karaka, the 12th house in the Navamsa is your Jivan Muktamsa house. Now, that house reveals which deity that you're supposed to be either worshipping or for a remedy reason propitiating. Okay, so these are the five angas or the five limbs to prescribe to a serious case. People who really need that change in life. People who have, you know, just fed up, just don't know what to do next, and decided to just go with it. And so that's about it, friends. If you have any questions, just